Hello, this is Odd Job Entertainment bringing you another video, and today this is the absolute beginner's guide to Star Citizen. Star Citizen has come a long way over the years, and it is now to a point where I feel like I can fully endorse it as something you'll enjoy and come back to over and over. But if you're just starting out, there is a steep learning curve, and it can be pretty daunting. But don't worry, I'm here to walk you through it. Step 1. Make an account on Robert Space Industries using my referral code on screen to get 5,000 bonus credits as well as help me build my virtual empire. Step 2. Select a pledge level. There are a lot of different options here, but you need to know that the bare minimum is $45. You do not need to spend more than this. If you're playing with the org or myself, we're always happy to help you try out higher tier ships. But anything past $45 should only be because you want to support the project. Step 3. Load up the game. You'll be asked to customize a character and select a primary residence. The character customizer is fantastic and allows an impressive amount of variety if you're white.
What did he say?
They're adding more diversity options as time goes on, but you'll usually need to redo your character each major patch cycle anyways, so I don't usually spend much time on this. You can also go back and edit your character at any time. Step 4. Your primary residence. This is the first decision that has any real bearing on gameplay. Your primary residence is where you'll respawn anytime that you die. It's also where anything purchased with real money will be delivered or retrieved. So, while New Babbage and Orison are far and away the prettiest options, they're also the most frustrating. Orison has a very dense atmosphere and takes the longest to leave, where New Babbage is the furthest away from everything else. My personal favorite is Lorville, as it is somewhat centrally located, has a low atmosphere, and as of 3.17, has new clouds to make it pretty too. Step 5. The first time you load into the Persistent universe, it's going to take a bit to get your bearings and learn all the buttons you need to know. Be patient with yourself and the game, you will get there. The first one is Y. Y is used to get out of the hab bed, ship seats, benches, tables, and everything in between. It's a very common keybind, so it's important to know this one. Now that you're out of bed, we're going to learn the second keybind, but probably the most common of all, F. In Star Citizen, F does a lot more than pay respects. It is the primary way you get your character to interact with, well, everything. Hold F and hover your cursor over the keypad. You'll then see the prompt to open the door. This is what you'll do with every interactable in the game. Hold F until a menu pops up, move your cursor until the correct menu item is highlighted, and then left click. Step 6. Navigating stations. This game, as of yet, does not have any kind of smart guiding system to help you navigate. Some version of this is coming down the pipeline, but it isn't here yet. Thankfully, the game has gotten much better with programmatic design. Did I use that term right, morphologists? And signage. On screen, you're seeing a sped up version of navigating Lorville, but the same principle applies everywhere. Look for the signs of where you are trying to go and follow them. On that note, planets and stations have so far followed a similar pattern to their layout. Stations will have hangars and habs in the same section of the station, and depending on their role, will have some combination of a galleria, refinery, and/or a cargo center. Habs are where you wake up, and on stations, these are little more than a cot with a small standing area. Planet side, these will be a cozy-sized bedroom. Hangars are obviously where you get into your ship. The galleria is a small shopping area, the refinery handles all your mining needs, and the cargo area doesn't do a whole lot yet. If you're on a planet, you'll wake up in a hab. There will be a shopping, trading area, and the spaceport. You'll use some kind of public transportation to navigate these three main areas, whereas on stations, you'll use the interstation elevator system. Once at the hangar or spaceport area, you'll see these distinctive touchscreens. These are ASOP terminals, and are what you use to retrieve, store, or claim your ships. Anytime a ship becomes inaccessible to you or is destroyed, you'll file an insurance claim. By default, you'll wait a set amount of time for a new ship to be delivered to your new location. If you've upgraded your ship, it will be delivered with the upgrades in place, so don't be afraid to try new setups and experiment. You may remember that when you purchased your pledge, it said something about insurance. That sense of the term is not in place as of yet, but refers to a future state of the game where ships that are insured will be easier to regain than otherwise. Until that point, Everybody has the same kind of pseudo-insurance permanently. Go ahead and retrieve your ship. The screen will then show you where it has been delivered. In previous versions, you had to memorize this number, but now we have waypoints to guide us. Be grateful to those that came before and suffered for you. You'll find the elevator going to the hangar and send it to the correct location. This is the first time you've seen what your money bought you. Take in the moment. Star Citizen is light years ahead of its competitors in ship design and variety. This is your ship, and it's beautiful. Now that you've smelled the virtual roses, you'll notice some blue indicators marking your ship. These are showing you access points. On larger ships, these also indicate elevators and cargo bays. You'll need to approach these indicators and interact with them to board your ship. Once you've taken a seat in your ship, you'll be presented with the main elements of your controls. Many of the intricate ship commands can be controlled with physical buttons on these control surfaces, but it will be faster and more efficient to commit the corresponding keybinds to memory. For now though, hold F and move your cursor around until you find the Flight Ready button. This will turn your ship on into a ready to fly state. Before we can leave though, we need to request that the landing authority open our hangar. This can be done by navigating the screens of your ship. In 3.17, you can assign a keybind specifically for this function. The easiest way for beginners is to press F11. This will bring up the comms app in your mobiGlas. Click Friends and then click the Hail button for your respective spaceport. The hangar doors will open and you are now free to leave. You can hit F1 or F11 again to close the mobiGlas. If you are playing on mouse and keyboard, the default keybinds for movement are as follows. Space to go up, Control to go down. Mouse up to pitch up, mouse down to pitch down. Mouse left and right to yaw or turn, and WASD strafes you forward and back or side to side. Q and E will roll your ship. If you're playing with joysticks, you probably already have an idea what they do on a basic level. But there are a lot of ship functions you'll need to control. To keep track of them for dual Gladiator NXTs, which is what I use, I have made a slick Adobe PDF form that you can use to write them all down. Now that we're outside our hangar, we want to take up the landing gear by pressing N. Then, we'll probably want to increase our speed limiter by scrolling up. For new players, I recommend that they grind mercenary missions. These are engaging and challenging at high levels, but offer good payouts without requiring any specific ships or more combat-capable fighters. All you need to get started is a set of armor and some FPS weapons. These can be purchased at most major locations. You can accept and track these missions by using the Contract Manager app in your mobiGlas, which is accessed by hitting F1. For now, we're going to navigate to Everus Harbor. To do this, we'll hit B to start our quantum drive in its spooling process. Then, we'll open our mobiGlas by hitting F1, and then click on the Skyline app. You can also hit FT to open your mobiGlas to this directly. We'll rotate the map by clicking and dragging until we see Everus Harbor. We'll click it, and then click Set Route. This will filter out all the extra quantum travel points that we don't need. We'll then orient our ship to line up with Everus Harbor. After it has calibrated, we'll hold B to initiate the jump. Once complete, we'll shut off the Q drive by tapping B one more time. This is sometimes a little buggy, so if you hear quantum drive sounds, you can turn on and off your quantum drive to get them to go away. Once inside a certain radius from the station, we'll see that we need to contact ATC for a landing. We do this just as before, hitting F11, clicking Friends, and hailing the ATC. We'll set our gear down with N and navigate to the landing pad they assign. Once inside the flashing blue box, we can hold N to initiate an auto land. This is usually slower than landing manually, but takes the challenge aspect out completely. You'll eventually move past this, but it's a great option for beginners. You now know the basic controls needed for a pretty big variety of missions. As stated before, I recommend that you try out the mercenary missions, as they're probably the most familiar to you if you've already played FPS style games in the past. But with these controls, you can also do delivery missions, as well as a host of other varieties as well. But now that we know the basic controls, this takes us to another major learning point. While you can ask questions in the chat and usually get answers, you also need to recognize that many of us have seen the same questions over and over. So, more often than not, you may be greeted with a snarky response or a recommendation to hit Alt F4. But because we see these questions over and over, the community at large has created some excellent resources to help you be independent in your search for information. Heck, that's why you're watching this video. I'll now go over some basic sites that you should know about. These will be linked in the description. If you join our Discord, you'll also see them linked in game resources. Urkel is your go-to for simulating different loadouts and equipment for your ship. The developers have done a great job of keeping it current across patch cycles. Galog and SC Trade Tools are two resources that will help you when trying to figure out trade routes by lining up buyers and sellers for each item type. And StarCitizen.tools is the wiki with info on everything else. If you come across something and you don't know what it does, searching it on the wiki will tell you its value and where it can be bought or sold. This also applies to anything that you're looking to find or buy. You can use StarCitizen.tools to figure out where it is sold and for how much. The last step in this tutorial is also the most important. Have fun. Star Citizen is still an alpha, and it's riddled with bugs, but it has a lot to offer. It has genuine flashes of brilliance that will keep you hooked. No matter what your playstyle is, there's something for you here. But this brings us to the end of this basic tutorial, so you guys know how this goes. Like, share, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, and until next time, this is Oddjob Entertainment, signing off.
I am dropping like a rock. What the heck?
Did you turn your ship back on?
No, come on, no! Yep, I might crash. Come on, pick up. Okay, whew.
Holy cow!
I almost freaking nailed it, dude. Did you see it?
I did! Holy cow!
My... I was like, I barely missed the freaking surface, dude. Oh my god. That wasn't no skill, that was just pure luck right there.